Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX, and it is time for the daily video update. So let's have a look at how these markets have behaved today. We've seen some weird action, but we've grabbed some great pips. There's been some really nice movements. Markets are all closed, as you can see. Oil's back up once again. It's just kind of hovering and not really going too much of anywhere. Gold made a very big run today. We'll look at the gold chart in just a moment. But the S&P and the Dow, look at those guys, up about 1.5% each today. 180 points on the Dow, 19 on the S&P. So very good days there. And we finally had some news this morning. It was a little bit of a mixed bag. PPI out of the U.S., trade balance, unemployment claims. So unemployment claims are a little bit worse than expected. Trade balance a little bit better. And then the PPI a little bit worse. So it's kind of, like I said, been a little bit all over the place. Coming into the U.K. session tonight and the U.S. session tomorrow morning, we have the PPI for the U.K. Coming up, and then we have the core CPI for the U.S. This can be a pretty big mover. And then we've got Bernanke speaking. And as we all know by now, that's going to be some craziness, so we can count on that. And then we just see, it's just kind of some choppiness here. The dollar index is still just sitting right around that 79.50 to 80 area. It's just really kind of in this choppy zone right here, not making too much progress either way. We're still holding on to this trend line, but we could start to be forming a bit of a head and shoulders pattern here, and so this could start heading down. So it's worth keeping an eye on. I'm still looking for some dollar rally, but we'll see what happens. Here is the euro dollar. We had orders set, as you guys remember from the daily video yesterday, above 131.50, so we got in actually at 131.60 just to make sure we got a good clearance of this one. And we're able to ride it to 132.00, which was a nice little 40 pip run, and then it went a little tiny bit further up to about 132.10, 15-ish area, and then it's just kind of consolidating. So we did grab a nice little trade above that. Our sell was down here below 130.90. Well, we got a little bit close, but not too close. And then that buy turned out very good, and there were some nice pips and some good profit in there. Now what's happening is we've got this interesting little area. You can see it right here, and this is about 131.85. The euro really struggled with 131.85. It hit it, and then finally made this big breakout and ran up about 25 or so pips above that. And then it's just come all the way back down to that 131.85. And so that's why I have these arrows here. This could be kind of an either way type situation. And so at this point, we're about 30 pips off that high. This could start to make a run down here. And give us some selling opportunities. There's a lot of resistance, or excuse me, a lot of support that it's going to be coming into contact with, and so I'm not super anxious to jump into any kind of sell entry just yet, but below about 131.80, I think we could probably steal, and by steal I mean get some really quick pips. We could probably steal some fast entries there and grab just a couple of bucks out of that. Over probably a half-hour period in the Asian session. So look for a break below 131.80, and like I said, we can probably grab 15 or 20 pips below 131.80 down into about 131.60. And then if this gets back below 131.50, then I'm going to be leaning back towards the short on the euro and selling it and so on. But again, just below 131.80, I think we've got a couple of quick, easy pips, but it's going to be something that needs to be babysat very, very closely. And especially if it makes a break back down above below that, then I'm going to be looking to buy this potentially off of the 131.50 area, and if we don't get all the way down there and it just chops around, back above 131.85 is where I'll be buying it as well. So keep an eye on that. We've got some interesting levels, but remember 131.85 and 131.50 are going to be the major levels to watch coming into the afternoon. So make sure you mark that, put these arrows on, pause the video, make sure your charts are ready to go on all of that. Pound dollar worked out pretty good as well. From the daily video yesterday, we had a buy right at the break of 159.30, and you can see that we grabbed some good pips out of that. There's about 30 pips, and ultimately went about 50 pips above 159.30, so very nice little run there. And now it's just kind of starting to chop around here. So you can see that we've got a pretty choppy channel, but it's made a pretty nice big run up there. What I'm going to be looking for here is a couple of things. You can see this little descending trend line. We get this back above, probably 159.60, 70, right in that general area, and this pair should start being a nice little buy opportunity once again. But I just want to make sure that we can get a little bit above this trend line. But anything above this trend line I think should be good as long as we have enough volume. So look for the Asian session and look for buys just above this trend line. Like I said, around 159.60-ish. We're looking for only about 20 pips on this thing, especially in an Asian session. Lock in as soon as possible. Let it ride a little bit further if you can get some good profits locked in there. But it's going to be a little choppy, but just a nice little break of that trend line should be good. Otherwise, if this just kind of continues to hop around, below 159.35.40 is going to be a sell area, and this is where we're going to look to sell this with about 30 pip stops. And because this was our strong resistance before, now it broke out of that and it's found some pretty good support there. So back below about 159.35 should give us some good sell opportunities to take this pair back down. 30 pip stops, probably 50 pip take profits back below that area. So just keep an eye on that. But for the meantime, we're going to watch this breakout and we're going to watch this little 5-minute chart and see if we can get above this trend line and grab a couple of pips out of there. Quick little look at the euro yen, coming into some resistance, coming into the gap, coming into all those levels there. So I'm going to be looking for this to get back down below about 106.40-ish area, give us a nice break and start giving us a crossover. And we should be able to ride this back down. There's like 100 pips there that we can take, so keep an eye on that. If this breaks up, I'm probably, unless we get some Japanese intervention, which could very easily happen, we're going to keep an eye out on that. That could happen any day. But I'm probably going to kind of steer a little bit away from buying opportunities just yet. This could change in the UK notes tonight, but for right now, I think we're going to see some chop. And getting above this area may or may not give us a good opportunity to buy the pair. So we're just going to kind of keep our eyes on that. Liking sell opportunities on most of these pairs better. But same thing on this pound yen. Above this upper resistance here, could be a couple of good pips. But I'm really more looking for kind of a break of this 128.90-ish area to take this pair back down into some of these lows. So be looking for that on the yen pairs. As you guys remember from yesterday, we had the buy levels at 103.50, and you can see how that went. Just shy of a full 100 pip movement. The Aussie made it all the way up to 104.49, so made it just about 100 pips there, and everyone in the group grabbed some nice pips out of that, and that was a great little run. And now for the Aussie, I don't know what I want to do. We have a nice little double bottom here, and I just don't think that there's a really good entry right yet. So we're going to need to wait for a little bit of retracement, which I think we'll get. It's broken this trend line. This has been a very crucial trend line right here, and it's broken that. So I'm just looking for a little bit of retracement, and we'll be looking for entries probably back a little bit, 50% retracement or something from this 100 pip run. So somewhere around the 10400 area is probably what I'll be looking for to buy this with stops below this 103.50. So that's what we're going to be keeping an eye on for now. But again, that'll be updated in the notes. There's nothing really too safe to do right this moment. We just need to watch price action and kind of wait and see. Gold made a nice big run up here. It's right back up to, it just tapped 1680, so it's right back up into those highs. And just kind of bumping around. So we're going to keep our eye on gold, see what it does, see where it goes, and watch for some breaks there to hopefully cue us into some better movements on the dollar pairs. But right now we're just kind of waiting and seeing. So mark these levels on your charts, pause the video if you need to, and be ready for those breakouts because I think they're coming and I think they're going to be good. So thanks everyone, best of luck, and we'll see you in the chat.